Hey guys, welcome to your Friday patron video. We're going to make it a quick one today. Two hands to do a little bit of a, we'll call it a medium dive on from last night's RBC game. I think some good points for you guys to pick up on these. So first off, we have housekeeping. New patron, Scott Corbin. Scott, thank you for joining the pirate ship. I think you're going to enjoy the content here. It drops new, fresh, Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning. Winners from last night, Bob Coker, second in the limited game. Very nicely done. Scratching in the open game were Ann Petro, Betsy Mebin, Leo Eiking, and finishing 7th overall was Vladimir Stemkovsky. Also, I caught somebody doing something good in the morning games. Ashok Mendirata, 67% won his direction in Barbara Hudson's morning game yesterday, the 0 to 1500 variety. So, without further ado, let's get to some stuff. Oh, by the way, speaking of people around here who did well last night, I don't mean to brag, but check this out. Oh, well, if I can get the right window open here. There we go. Share this over at the Common Game, of which Raleigh Bridge Club is a member. You'll notice that East-West, out of 285 pairs and out of 582 pairs total last night, first place overall, John Cobb and Lance Shull. So, yeah, that's pretty cool to do that every once in a while. And the cool thing about this, too, is, oh, and by the way, John Kirby and Karen Popovich, second overall out of 582 pairs. We had a lot of Raleigh Bridge Club people finish highly. The Joyces are sitting there 5th their direction. Let's see, who else? Shafiq and Karen Copeland were 8th their direction. So lots of good results from the RBC last night. Congrats to everybody who did well. So first thing I want to tell you is that I made up just a high-level thing of what I'm thinking during the auction to let you know that, like, it's kind of with that one-pager concept. It's not all that complicated what I'm thinking. So let's see if I can share this screen correctly this time. New share. This share. That should be it. You got a Word document up here. I tried to figure out how to do flowcharts this morning, which I'm not really familiar with. I mean, I'm familiar with the concept, not with like how the bubbles work and all that stuff. And the internet was of no great help. So I figured I'd just put down some bullet points. Here's what I'm thinking when I pull the hand out of the box. Number one, and these are basically in order. Do we have a game? Okay, and if so, is it 3 no trump, 4 hearts, or 4 spades? If we don't have a game, do they have a game? If I think they have a game, is there a way I can jam their auction effectively with a preemptive bid? Can I direct a lead with a double or an overcall? And if neither of these things are happening, like we don't have a game, they don't have a game, can I successfully compete in a part score battle, either based on trump length or vulnerability or some combination of those? And kind of like that's the big idea is, do we have a game? And that's whether you're opening or the overcalling side. That's always at the top of the priority list. So let's get into the 2 hands that I selected from last night. See if I can share the right thing again. New share. And we will go to this thing now. And bridge base. Okay, so hand 14 is one I've selected. This is a hand where we're going to talk about losing trick count, Drury, and in-out evaluation. So the auction we had, I was sitting west, John was sitting east. It went pass, pass. I opened a heart with the west hand. It went pass. And we use a convention called two-way Drury, which means that we give up the natural meanings of 2 clubs and 2 diamonds for a responder in this auction. You don't really need them to be 2 over 1 anymore once east is a passed hand. What we're going to do is assign those bids artificial meanings that show good raises for partners open to major. So these would apply anytime it goes pass, and then on one of a major opening, and then it gets back to the original passer. So what we're going to do here is assign a bid of 2 clubs to be 3-card heart support and a max passed hand. And the same thing would apply for the 2 diamond call, except that would show 4 or more trumps. So what my partner said here is I have 3 hearts in limit raise values, invitational values. If you want to think of it in terms of loser count, it's probably going to be about 8, okay? Because 7 probably would have opened the hand, and 9 would just be like a single raise. In the middle is 8 losers. Show you how to use that in just a second, or give you a reminder anyway. The other thing this convention allows you to do is if you are of the mind that sometimes you open light in 3rd chair, this keeps you at the 2 level, so it's nice. All right, pass. So at first I looked at this hand, I was like, it's 13 points. I'm just going to bid 2 hearts and play it safe here and take our plus score of 110 or 140 or 170, whatever it ends up to be. And then I said, well, let's do your inventory losing trick count thing first. And I came up with 1 spade and 1 heart and 1.5 clubs gets me to 3.5. 2 diamonds is 5.5. That's actually a trick and a half better than I might have had for opening the bidding. So I decided, actually the hand might be a little bit better than it appeared at first sight. My partner has trump support and a max passed hand. I've got 5.5 losers. He's got somewhere in the ballpark of 8. And the losing trick count tally says that anytime we've got a combined 14 or fewer, that game is probably a decent prospect. That being said, I didn't think the field would be bidding this, and I know that my partner understands that match points is not about bidding thin games, so I figured I'd give him one chance to leave the putt short. And the only place I have to invite, like the only room I have left to invite, is an artificial bid of 2 diamonds. And it just says, I'm on the fence, partner. What do you think about your hand? And it went past. Now, what my partner actually did at the table was bid 2 hearts. He said later maybe he should do more. And I kind of think he should do more. Keep in mind that when partner asks your opinion, it's always in the context of what you've already said about your hand. So here you've already said, from East's perspective, I can't open the bidding. I have 3 trumps and invitational values. Okay, and then given that information, partner asks, do you like your hand? So losing trick count is like 8, but what we have is good in-out valuation. And what that means is we love that we've got a 2 aces outside the trump suit and that we've got good trumps. We've got the Jack 10 third. The Jack 10 of hearts is so much more valuable inside the heart suit than it would be, say, in the diamond suit or the club suit. Right, so I think actually my partner should have gone ahead and taken the ball across the goal line, bid 4 hearts. Maybe it was conservative of me not to bid the game myself. But anyway, we played 2 hearts. We made some over tricks. I think we still ended up with a reasonable score. Quickly, let's do a trick count here on this hand. So we do it always from the hand with the more trumps, which would be West. And we've got the ace of spades, the ace of clubs, 3 diamonds. If that suit breaks 3-2, that gives us 5. And if the heart suit breaks 3-2, we either get 5 hearts if the king is onside or 4 hearts if the king is offside. So we end up coming up here, and we can rough a club in the dummy as well. Yeah, sort of. We're starting to compromise our trump strength, but this is a good game, right? And you'll notice like that Jack 10 of hearts is really helping to fill in that suit. Okay, if I end up with like 3 small trumps in the dummy, opposite ace, queen, 5th, I've got a loser for sure. And to not have a second loser, I've got to have the king in the pocket. And to not have a third loser, I've got to have the trumps 3-2. So I hope this impresses on you how much more valuable those soft cards, those queens and jacks and 10s are inside the potential trump suit or inside suits where partner has length. All right, one more for you, and then we'll call it a day. You'll have a happy weekend. I'll see you again on Monday. Let's show you an auction from 20. I got to open the hand as West. It's a nice 5-4-3-1. I opened a spade, went pass. Partner has a Jacoby 2 no trump forcing raise of spades. He wants to commit to game and tell me that spades are trump. The way you do this is by bidding 2 no trump. And in the dialog box, you would put 4+ spades, game forcing values. My first responsibility as responder to this 2 no trump button is to show shortness. It doesn't, regardless of what my strength is, my first duty is show shortness. I've got club shortness, and I show it. And again, in the dialog box, shortness. And it went pass. And a principle here. Anytime we know we're in a game force, which we do here as soon as 2 no trump hits the table, and we know what trumps are, which we do, as soon as 2 no trump hits the table, we're playing spades, end of debate. Okay, so we've got the 2 ingredients for the recipe of when new suits would be cuebids. Okay, so my partner's 3 diamond bid here was a cuebid. It's not literally an effort to play diamonds. We're always playing spades here. Diamonds is just a cuebid. And the way I like to play is that it shows first or second round control of the suit bid, and any suits you skip over, you don't have control of. Okay, so you might have the ace of diamonds here, or the king of diamonds, or a singleton diamond, not likely given that he didn't splinter, or a void in diamonds, again, not likely, because usually when responder uses 2 no trump Jacoby, it's based on a balanced hand. Anyway, he cubids 3 diamonds. I chip in with 3 hearts, and it's the same idea. Partner, don't worry that we're off 2 heart tricks, right? And he decided at that point that he'd heard enough. It was time to just ask how many key cards I have. And the idea here is, once you have the side suits accounted for and you ask for key cards, there are 6 important cards. The 4 aces, the king of trump, the queen of trump. Once we launch into key card, if we find that we have possession of 5 of those cards, we are committed to bidding a small slam. If we have 4 or fewer, we try to put the brakes on as quickly as possible. And if we have all 6, usually we are telling partner about that via like a 5 no trump follow-up. And that says, you can bid a grand if you can count all 13 tricks. We have the 6 important cards. You could bid a side king, and maybe I could be able to count to 13 tricks, but that's how you would show all 6 and invite a grand slam if partner's got a source of tricks that you don't necessarily know about. Anyway, you bid 4 no trump. And I have 2 key cards for spades without the queen. That is 5 hearts. And sticking with the original plan here, he figured out that we are missing 2 of the important 6 cards. Like he's got 2 of them, I've got 2 of them. We're just shy the important cards to be bidding a slam here. All right, basically slams 50-50 here. It's just on finding the queen of spades, which is about a 50-50 proposition. And that's not the type of slam you want to be in, unless like you're swinging for some reason or you're desperate for a good result, which don't worry about that in normal situations. You want your slams to be, practically speaking, you want them to be higher than 50%. One more thing here. If West had had the same hand, except with a 6th spade, like pretend that one of the small hearts was a 6th trump instead, he would actually show the queen of spades here because he would know the partnership is in possession of 10 trumps, and therefore the queen isn't important, right? The queen only becomes important if we have 9 or fewer trumps. Otherwise, we just depend on the ace-king is going to bring them down 2-1. They're not going to be 3-0 offside. We don't have a trump loser. Anyway, just a quick side point there. And yeah, we get to 5 spades. It turns out that 6 is makeable if you finesse. That's actually not the percentage play, but it kind of goes into that thing I was talking about on Monday's video where it's close here. I mean, the whole hand is how you play the trump suit, how you play the spade suit. It's close. It's like a 53-47 proposition. And if you decided that you needed a good board, you know, this is board 20, say you're piddling around at like 53%, and you definitely want to get a bunch of gold points tonight, you might reason, I'm just going to try and play this suit the opposite of the way the field plays it. And the opposite of the way, like the slightly anti-percentage way to play this suit is to finesse. Okay, this suit is what the nursery rhyme, 9 never, which means if you have 9 trumps, you never finesse. 8 ever, if you have 8 trumps, you do finesse for the queen. That's what the nursery rhyme was made for. It's really close. I went over the math on Monday. Anyway, hope you enjoyed these 2 hands. Hope you have a great weekend. Hope you join us Sunday for Speedball at 7 o'clock. That's 18 boards and it moves along pretty quickly. Try it out if you haven't tried it out. And I will see you again with a video on Monday morning. Enjoy your basketball. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the weather if it's nice. And we'll talk to you soon.